uh, I do hate you, Tanner. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Late Show with T and J. I'm your host, comedian Jovi, with my co-host, Tanner. What?
Hello.
Wow. See, this is not how I wanted to start it. And it didn't even come off smooth.
No.
Your camera zoomed in and out. It was out of focus.
I only wanted to do it just to spite you.
Yeah, that's why you're a terrible person. Anyway, how's your week been, man? Weekend.
Week was.
We skipped a week because we filmed and we ain't like it.
No. Yeah.
But we'll talk about what was going on in that episode. But fill us in on what you had going on
for this week. Man, taking care of the boys. Again, getting into the gym as much as possible. I am. Hold on, you asked me, so you're wrong. And getting ready for a couple competitions now, which is
okay.
Kind of I'm happy about, because I have that whole competitive side of me, and it's just something to look forward to. Actually, like a goal for training.
You have to tell us how one of those occasions came up, because that was quite the funny story there.
Yeah, my social awkwardness and anxiety. Yeah, I mean, I can get into that now.
I want to hear about it. We're hopping out the gate.
I just got done working out, and it's a CrossFit gym, so it's a small community. People are chilling and talking, either in between workouts or after. And like I literally just get done on the GHD sit-ups, and I'm trying to catch my breath, and there's a group talking.
GHD sit-ups, what's that?
It's a GHD machine, glute ham development.
Oh, okay.
Not machine, but like it's a little setup, but you can do sit-ups, all that jazz. So I get off and I'm trying to catch my breath, and so me, just like I was just in my own world, and they're talking, and she sorry, she turns around and she says, "Hey, do you want to go to the spring? You want to do the spring fling with me?" If I can get these words out, because that was what was going on in my head. I was like, "What?" So like in my head, I hear spring fling, right? Which
that was a high school dance to us.
It sounds like a dance. It sounds like a social get together.
What is that? The new age Sadie Hawkins?
Maybe. I mean, I am in the
pretty
South.
Much the girls ask the guys.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, oh shit! Like I got worried, thinking I was being asked out, like to a date like that, and I stuttered for a second, and I go, well, what is that? Like I need a clarification ASAP before I put myself in a very awkward position. And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just a CrossFit competition." I was like, "Yes, yes." No questions asked. Like then I'm like, "Yes," and then I find out what the workouts are. There's some regret, but I'm looking forward to it.
A bit on the challenging side.
Yeah.
Okay,
but like that's the point of it. Yeah.
But you
that and have fun.
You've never been good when it came to like girls coming on to you.
No.
I've literally been pissed at you at times. Like, bro, did you not see? How did you not see? Oblivious. You just. I'm like, bro.
I don't get the hints that are being dropped, or what's. I still don't. Yeah, I don't know why. It's amazing to me how I have been told that people think I'm like a player.
So we're beating around the bush with it now. Oh, okay.
I'm not saying about myself. That's what we're doing. That from other people, like girls that I've talked to.
We're putting a mask over. Okay, nah, I feel you. Yeah. Nah.
That's not what we're doing.
Okay, no. I already had one eye blinked.
But see, I don't have those kind of skills. Like I don't, like you said, I can't tell when that's happening to me right then and there.
I don't get it. I don't know. I guess no, you've never been good with body language, like reading body language, or actually, no, you've never been good with hints or math or just life
Oh, so now we're
skills.
going to just intellect.
Oh, that's
But hey, I'm an anti-money laundering analyst now. I help stop financial crimes. So math has gotten a little bit better. We talked about this.
okay. So you
People
finally
grow.
learned algebra. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Been doing that since ninth grade, but okay. Cool.
Fighting words.
It's always been funny to me because as much as we've hung out over the years and been to parties or just like little get-togethers, and you be chatting up this chick and like she's giving you every sign, like, yeah, nah, I'm digging this. I could do this. And you're just like, yeah, so lacrosse.
Hey, there's my bro.
I'm like, why are you giving me more love than her?
I think the best part about that is I'm like, dude, she wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. No,
And
wasn't.
that's always the response. And I'm like, so are you stupid or are you dumb? Because
A little bit of both.
probably.
Yeah. A little bit of both.
Because honestly, there were times that, yeah, you would say like, man, I just don't think she was feeling it. And I'm like, she practically dropped panties. What?
I'd be like, why are you doing that?
And she's sitting there just you're chatting and you're just like, all right, so I'm gonna head out. And she's just panties on finger, just
what else should I have done differently?
Pretty much. I batted eyes. I gave like, I kind of like his conversation, even though I didn't give a fuck. I literally took my undergarments off.
I like the conversation, even though I didn't get it. Okay.
Listen, we've all been there, so hush.
Right. So yeah. So anyway,
no. Right.
That was my little social anxiety awkward situation, which wasn't awkward for them because it was going on in my head, obviously. But like that's like I immediately like started panicking, thinking, shit.
I think the best comedy shows are in people's heads. Because a situation like that that says sitcom.
Right? Like you could play that going off. Like it'd be like that would happen, and then it would do a jump scene or a cut scene to like what's going on, and then it'd bring it back to reality. You're like, no, that's not what's happening here.
No, it was a question. What's that? Oh yeah, I could do that. But in your head, it was a half-hour long panic.
Yeah, and it gets real cartoonish.
Always. Little bodies flying around, fire, files all over the place. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. So how was your week? You had a big week.
Man, it was a good week. I had a real good week. Actually, it was more toward the end that it was better because the beginning of the week was kind of slow, and I might have been scared for an opportunity earlier this week, and for that I missed out. Just a little audition for a short film, but I ended up chickening out just because I was like, I found every reason to not like it. You know what I mean? Oh, the lead role is it doesn't fit my character styling, and yeah, maybe I can do something small at most. Oh, they're running auditions for a couple days, and then when I finally had to go to register, registration closed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When you sent me that, my heart dropped. I was like, bruh.
I know. I know.
I was gonna say anything because I could tell just from you sending that, like, I could feel your personal inner.
I felt guilty. I really fucked up.
It's one of those things where like I don't need to like say anything. It was just I got it and I was like, shit.
I fucked up. But lessons learned, because you gave me good advice during that as far as really what's the worst that could happen. You gain experience or you get the role and you gain even more experience than that. It's like, that's pretty win-win. Other than that, my 4th anniversary was on Thursday. Had a great time. Honestly, that night I canceled everything because we were going to reshoot on
Yep.
Thursday. I also had a business meeting that I was supposed to do. And I decided, like, what, afternoon time, that I was like, no, I'm just making sure I dedicate the evening to us hanging out. And we had a good time. We were watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which we love watching together. Um, you know, it, yeah. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
little anniversary stuff.
Yeah.
And then we went to a comedy show last night down in the Twin Cities. Went and saw Mike Epps, Gary Owen, comedian Dominique, Adrian Washington, who's from here in St. Cloud, local comedian who's getting notoriety recently, and I'm happy for his successes. And then a couple smaller names that I wasn't too familiar with. Literally the blackest event Jill's ever been to.
Even with Gary Owens there.
Exactly. I'm like,
Oh no.
but at least there's a white guy. Right? That's how I looped her in. I was like, but
He gets brother status. He gets brother status.
okay, we'll get into that because you're absolutely right, but also not his best set.
No, really.
Oh God.
Because he's usually hilarious.
Exactly. I went in with high expectations and I was disappointed.
Kind of one of those, not that he's a hero, but like, you don't want to meet your heroes type of deal.
No. So I know he's been going through a tough divorce.
Oh, that's right.
And his rebound set, he talked about salty balls. Like he said salty, like the phrase salty balls like 5 times in a row, and then he echoed it twice. And I'm like, oh, when you hear the stadium just kind of echoing instead of people laughing,
it's not a good sign.
No. Like toward the end, he started cleaning it up, but it was like a 4 on the scale. I wasn't digging it. Jill didn't dig it. She was a fan of Adrian. We had seen him before, so she's a bit used to his styling. But honestly, he controlled the room better than Gary did. And that's usually crazy because lower names don't typically do that. And he typically kills with black crowds. And that just it wasn't it. Tony Rock. Oh, that was the other one. Tony Rock was there. Hilarious. Jill and I loved him. He didn't talk about Will, and that was the surprise to us. Because I was like, if there's anyone who's going to talk about it, be prepared for him to go on a 15-minute rant about this thing.
Like I said, because he already did.
Didn't talk on it at all.
He probably, he said what he said at another.
I'm sure he had a couple sets where he was, feeling it. I feel like by 4, 5, it's like, all right, I'm off that.
Yeah.
Because
at that point, it's just annoying.
He came in hot with it. Like he came in hot with it. More so aggressively than his own brother, who got bitch slapped on stage in front of the world. But he killed on stage. He had a joke about black people and saying, I know him, but I don't know him like that. And explaining how most white people don't understand like what's the emphasis on the like that, like not getting it. Oh man, his set was like what 30 minutes of hilarity the entire time. He killed it. Mike Epps killed it, but there was this heckler. This dude just kept shouting at the break of every joke, and it was pulling his steam. Like it really was. Other than that, I felt like he would have been doing a lot better. But I thought he was still very funny.
I fucking hate hecklers.
It was terrible. Because the dude kept saying it was all out of love, but it's like, yeah. At one point, he had shouted, "You're my mentor." He's like, "Well, if I'm your mentor, shut the fuck up." Like, if I'm your mentor, listen to me and shut up. Like,
Yeah, sit down, shut the fuck up, learn
well,
from this performance.
right. And it's like, I mean, how he retaliated each time was a learning experience for me, trying to learn more about the craft. So how, like, because he didn't get like overly aggressive or like had the dude kicked out or anything, and his set was like 45 minutes. So this dude's like talking shit the entire 45 minutes, literally. And he found ways to like get it to cut off and then spring into a joke and then actually go back into his set. Like, he had to work hard for it, but he did very well. So overall, it was a really good show. One really funny comedian, Dominique. Um, Honestly, they're a lot of their jokes, the ones that I mentioned, Jill laughed the entire time, which was good. It was inviting for her. Maybe the one thing that wasn't so inviting was the amount of blunt smoke in the air.
Ooh, yeah.
Niggas was chiefing. At first, they were like, security was like making them put it out or like threatening to kick them out, and then after a certain point, they shut all the lights off. Like, all you see is just smoke clouds, or like little red ignition sparks
Was
going
it
from.
how big was like the venue? Were you guys enclosed or
We were
was
at
it big?
the Target Arena where the Timberwolves play,
Oh,
which
okay.
is it's smaller than TD. So keep that in mind. TD was
All right, all
larger
right.
than, but it's still a large facility, but it wasn't a sell out the entire facility type thing. Minnesota is popping, but not enough like that to be doing the entire stadium. Um, but blunt after blunt was being lit as soon as the show really got started. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm chilling. I'm loving it. I'm doing great. I'm like, ooh, that's some Reggie in the front. That's disgusting. Ooh,
this stank face
that's
said, ooh, that's
delightful.
right.
I'm like, yo, that's delightful. Now that right there, someone's got some gas in back, and I'm appreciating. But what's
Get
up
the
in
medical.
front? I'm like, ooh.
And they got the good tickets too, because they're up front. So like maybe they spent all their
Bro, I
money
was on the
on good
floor.
tickets.
I was on the floor. I was not in the first row, but not in the first set of seats, but the second. So we were relatively close. But
Yeah,
it like blunt.
it's everywhere.
So she survived. Um, she came out stinking, but she survived. Like, there was enough space in the stadium. It's not like you're gonna get contact or anything like that, but
Right.
you are gonna smell a pot. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, I'm legal in this state, so I'm allowed to carry my things in the vehicle, transport and whatnot. So worst come to worst, I'm able to say, hey, that's mine. I'm good. Here's my stuff.
Here's my card.
Yo, base. Honestly,
It's so
that's a
tweets,
huge.
man.
It's a tweet. It's a huge relief. I find it's a huge relief. I don't have as much of a daunting feeling like going past cops or whatever.
Yeah.
They can still be dicks or whatever because federal law, but they more cops that I've talked to than not have said they'd rather it be legal than, and they don't have to worry about it than having to keep writing tickets and shit for it. So
I
overall,
think it's
yeah.
no. Finish what you're saying. Finish your
Um,
thought.
we had a good anniversary. We spent, this is the most expensive anniversary.
Well, more to come. So you know you can always
Oh
top
yeah,
it.
but Here's the thing. I wasn't mad at how much we paid over the couple of days that we were celebrating. I was more upset at the past and how little we had spent up until this point. I understand finances has been an issue in the past, but it's also like we haven't given ourselves enough reprieve to be like, let's do this.
Like treat
we'll
yourself
fix it later, right?
Together, right?
So,
rather than just like treat yourself individually, treat yourselves together.
We did,
and
really
be okay with the fact that you did it.
Mm-hmm. And it was out of her sign-on bonus, so we're not super upset. It finally came in, so I was like trying not to look at bills and stuff. I was like, you know what? Here's the cut.
That's a Monday thing.
I'm like, but honestly, I had a really good time. From what she tells me, she did as well. Yeah, so that was the end of my week there.
Good. Good. That's an awesome time. I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations.
We've really been getting more into doing comedy shows together. Laughing together is really the main thing, and that's been a good thing for us.
And comedy shows are they're a good date. They really are.
They are.
They're such a good
get a drink or two in you, and you're just laughing. You cringe if someone's not doing great. But that's the name of the game. You know, not every day is gonna be the best day. But yeah. So what do we got on the docket? You said you had something. I know I got a couple of things outside of my anniversary that I was gonna bring up. Who wants to go first?
I'll go and just get it out of the way.
You wrote it on paper.
Well, no, these are actually pictures that my son drew.
Yeah, let's go into that because do tell.
So obviously, like we're creative people, you and I. Like we love, film, acting, writing, all this jazz. This piece.
Jazz. I love jazz.
Jazz is good.
You said all this jazz.
So like he's been drawing, and there's obviously, I don't want to sound like I'm that parent who's like, oh, my kid's amazing. Yeah. Of course I think he's amazing. But like it's him drawing from memory without having something in front of him or to trace, and grabbing the colors that he wants and he needs that is right. Now he's got ways to go, obviously, as far as technique. But so I'm gonna go with my favorite picture that he drew today, which was Batman.
Did you tell them how old he is?
Well, he's 4, turns 5 in May, so he's really close.
Yeah.
So here's Batman.
Is he Rudolph? Is he Rudolph as well?
No, I don't know what that is.
Is that blood? I wonder if that's blood.
It might be.
But that bat, I'm digging that.
The bat symbol, bro.
I'm digging that. For 4? Hell yeah. I'm down here like, oh, I like that.
Right? What I love is he went with the yellow. He went Keaton. He went OG.
Has he seen the Keaton films with you?
Yes. Now I know they're probably a little bit more mature for his age, but it's history. Moving on.
We were watching Keaton at our young old age. What are you talking about?
We were. I mean, so they're into Sonic, they're into Mario, and I'm super proud about that. So he drew Mario.
That's dope.
And like, so he got the color scheme right and everything, which I was super excited about. He tried getting the M up there on his head.
For 4 years, dude, that's pretty damn good.
I'm like, he's just drawing these like individual pictures.
Was Mario an amputee though?
I don't know.
But did he have necrosis of the thigh?
He's just like he's got technique. He's got to work on his technique and get.
I'm like, bro wasn't deadlifting on one side.
So here's the next thing.
Your face changed.
And I have 2 schools of thought about this. All right. he's been drawing pictures and drawing scary versions of that other picture, like an alternate version, scary version. So, but I think he was trying to draw Wario.
The purple and the yellow.
Yeah, I think he was trying to draw Wario.
That's what I'm getting out of it. Now,
that's what
I imagine
thought.
he hasn't seen Wario as often, and Wario.
Yeah, he hasn't seen Wario a lot. No. But
yeah.
So I asked him, and he said it's scary Mario. I don't know.
I'm like, all right. Then you look at the face, and you're like, is that like one of the Boo faces? And it's like, is Mario dead? Oh, I have questions. First of all, I have questions. I don't think they're full display for the podcast, but
I want to say just to gas myself up a little bit that he drew Wario.
Just denial is okay sometimes.
Yo, and then he tried drawing the Hulk.
Now, here's the thing. He's spot on. He's spot. I feel like he's more Gumby.
I'm Gumby too. I thought of Gumby. I thought of Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty.
Yup.
And then
Piccolo.
I thought of Popeye because he's got just like this tumorous arm.
I see Piccolo, and he would know Dragon Ball Z.
He would know Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. They're not quite into it as much as I am.
Whoa,
they get bored.
I mean, you're into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say that like I'm not.
into the thick of it. Yeah. So that was our activity today. It was drawing today. Obviously, working on his workbook and working on his letters as well.
Yeah. No, seek help.
And another thing about him, he started beatboxing without knowing it, and he actually was sounding like legit. I'm like cooking eggs, and like, you know me, I have no rhythm whatsoever. I'm sitting there, I'm feeling it. I'm like, ooh.
I guess I can't say that. You have some.
I'm just never on beat.
No, well, no. That's not true. No, if you know the song enough, you eventually get it. Because actually, no, I was the one keeping beat when we had sing-alongs back in the day. You know what? You're probably right about yourself. I'm trying to give you credit, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, I can't give him points for that. Damn, I can't give him points for that.
But he shushed me. I was like, get it. And he's sitting there like just looking at me, like smiling and doing it. And then like the more I got into it, he was like, and he even did this. He went, shh. No, daddy, no. I'm here flipping eggs, getting into it, gassing him up. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to inflate his ego. And he's just like, no, daddy, no. And like literally as I flipped the eggs up and it dropped in my pan, I just look at him like, in my head, I'm like, well, fuck you too then.
Yo, kids honestly, and the thing is, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Kid honestly, they're not lying. They're like, bro, shut up.
That ain't it.
I was doing it just fine. Shut up.
I don't need you. It's a one-man show.
Oh, my man said, you off beat. I'm trying to kill it and you off beat.
That's probably what he was thinking too. He was like, we are not the same.
Honestly, and I feel like it shouldn't be fetishized, but it should be highlighted, those talents that people on the spectrum have where they don't get enough notoriety, in my opinion. Where it's like, I feel like to take the taboo away from it, we got to speak on it more. So like seeing the savants who are drawing, or mathematicians who are calculating everything in their head, or someone who can recreate something that they've seen one time, it's a phenomenal talent, and it's just not highlighted enough. And I feel like if you give him the resources to follow any of these things, he'd do very well. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
drawing or music. Because if he's keeping a beat and you can't, I'm like, hey, you're doing all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that was sort of what I was thinking when they had to stay home one day and I was working and he went into his room and it got quiet. And as you know, like when it gets quiet, something's usually up.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there and he's drawn all over the walls with chalk and erasable marker. But the chalk, I got to work on that. I still got to go get that magic eraser. I've been putting it off because it's literally every single on all the walls in surrounding his room.
Did you know the magic erasers, they're just micro sanding, they're not washing?
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that because I was planning on painting over it anyway.
Right. I found out you can buy the material for like a lot cheap, like a large amount, a lot cheaper than just like buying the Mr. Eraser or Mr. Clean Eraser. I just learned this like 3 weeks ago. Not like I had this in the pocket for real. Yeah, little fun fact for you. But continue.
But like how you said, like kind of giving them the resources and whatnot. So like for a second I got upset and he was so proud about it, you know, like he wanted to show me it and he was super excited pointing at it. So I'm like, there was a little bit of like, you know, that what are you thinking in my tone, but I'm like, I have a forced smile because I'm like, he is so excited about this. I don't want to like suppress that and make him feel like he can't express himself through.
It's about finessing the conversation with him to a point where he can start to understand. It might not be immediately, but start to understand like, okay, I'm good at this, but not on the walls, maybe.
Yeah. It's learning the boundaries of it. But like, I don't, like you said, I don't want to suppress that. Like, I want him to feel like if he got like really, really, really good at this stuff, you know what I mean?
If I
wouldn't want to block his creative flow. Whereas like he sees a blank canvas, let's just say that, a blank canvas, and he makes art, or he sees a random wall on the street and he tags it, you know, and it just comes out beautiful and stuff like that. Like I'm not that I'm saying I want him to go tag things, but it's just an example because like there's amazing artwork that people have tagged. You know what I mean? I just don't want to block that. I don't want to cut that short and make him feel there's a negativity with what he's doing.
I've seen a couple ways that people have managed the situation, especially if you're trying to keep a progressive tone to it. I've seen people like use painters chalk paint on a wall, over the entire wall. So at least, all right, don't go all over the place. You start to learn, all right, this is my area that I can work in. And as they age, then start to have that more detailed conversation of, now you have to understand you can't do this everywhere. This though is your wall to do your art on, you know. That's just one way that I've seen it. And I just thought that was a great way of focusing in on that creativity, and not diminishing it, but also creating boundaries for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I had that talk with him. I sat down and got down on my knee, got down his level, and tried to get him to like focus on my words. And just
you're gonna have
like,
to have
paper,
that a couple times.
Like, let's do this on this paper. Let's try and put that on here. Or we have this chalkboard and we have this marker, this whiteboard. And I was like, and I said that I was like, I don't own these walls.
Oh yeah, my idea is for like when you buy a house or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to get like chalk paint and put that on the walls and let him just go crazy with it.
Yeah, I'm not. This is not an apartment type situation. This is home ownership.
I'm like, Connor, we're here short term. Daddy's trying to leave really, really quick. And this is prolonging things because I'll have to stay and clean and fix it. I also want my security deposit back. Not that you know what this is, but I want it back. It's mine and I want it back.
Well, I'm glad to see his talent showing, and you're encouraging them and trying to focus them in a more positive way. It's always nice. um how is Ezra been doing? I know there's a lot going on, so for both the boys, so I'm just checking in on him.
Um, yeah, they're going through a lot right now.
Mhm.
There's an inconsistency on one side just due to, there's other priorities for some reason, and schedule that is just kind of nuts. So I'm trying to remain there constant. So at least like they're going back and forth to like not getting much sleep, not getting much structure,
Mhm.
to getting enough sleep, and then kind of revamping and getting into it again. And like, for them, their age, going back and forth like that quick, it's a lot of rewiring, a lot of like getting in the zone of like, this is
Yeah.
how it is at mom's, this is how it is at dad's. So they are going through it for sure. There is a little bit of like some attitude adjustments, when they get back to me, where like
Mhm.
we have to get them back, and this is like,
The
this is what we're doing.
routine.
Yeah. Um, so when I do get them, I try to make it count. And really focus in on like what their outlets, like drawing, writing.
Mhm.
I have workbooks for them. And for Ezra, because he's still very nonverbal, like, he knows words, he says them, he just won't open his mouth. That's a
Mhm.
problem.
like
But we're
like
getting there.
like mumbling or
Like he hums them, like he'll say
mm.
thank you, but he won't open his mouth.
Mhm.
It's as if his mouth is sewn and he's saying the words, but he won't open.
Right.
And if he does, he
Teeth
it's
are.
the connection with the tongue and like how to use it isn't there.
Mhm.
So it's like, it kind of like he'll talk like that. So we're working on that. We're getting a referral, honestly, to a speech therapist, which I'm
Thankfully,
excited
you
for.
you know you use sign language in
Yeah,
your home
yeah,
as
and that's what I
well.
was gonna
So
get to. We're
yeah.
signing a lot, like, so he's got the basics down. He knows how to say please, thank you. That he does more. He does food. He
Mhm.
is, he doesn't quite have the hand-eye
Oh.
coordination and whatnot. So he understands what juice is, and like milk,
Mhm.
and water, and like thirsty. So he's getting those down.
Mhm.
And he's very good at saying yes, like yes or no. So he's communicating that way. And as you've
Yeah.
seen, he like, if before, like, if he can't communicate it to, the best thing he'll do is kind of like pull you and show you and point. He does that. But he's getting a lot better with it.
Mm.
So like I learned popsicle,
I
and they're
said,
really
kid,
good
you
at
gonna have to
popsicle.
speak to me.
Like, there's popsicle, please. They're doing that a lot. They're asking for
Yeah.
cookies. And the biggest one is for him. I
Mhm.
notice when he wants help and he can't get something, his first reaction is to have a meltdown because he can't communicate that he wants help. You know what I
Tell
mean?
me, tell me about it.
Yeah. Tell you about it. Tell me about it. Like I'm dealing with it.
On a daily basis. I'm over
So what
here.
I've been
I
doing
had one
is
experience
the
with the
sign
kid.
for help. I'm like, help. Like, so I'm like, I've been trying to get him to calm down. Like, don't immediately
Mhm.
go into a train wreck. I'm like, come get me and say help. And I'm also, they're starting to get, dad and mom starting
Mhm.
to get that. Um, I have reached out to their mother to work on those. She doesn't know sign,
Mhm.
so we have to have that awkward interaction because she asked me to show them, and I said you could simply look them up on YouTube.
I understand you're trying to stay away from that and not touch too much, and that's and I mean, like you said, those resources are out there. So where that's not a necessary action. You don't
Yeah,
have to do that. I literally subscribe to an ASL page on my YouTube because I'm trying to relearn. I started in college, but I stopped, when I stopped, but
Mhm.
I've always known how to spell my name. Um, and kind of like those basics, like you said. But I think it's just one of those skills that I always wanted to learn because I want to be able to talk with just about anybody. Now, language is difficult, but there's again other ways to hold a conversation without words.
Yeah. Uh, man, I've been in those situations where like part of my ASL assignment was to have
Mhm.
what do they call it? It
Did you have to
basically
work
like
in the community a little bit?
no,
No.
it would have ASL. They call it like ASL conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have to go get a certain amount of hours, and the only ones who could sign them were the people who went, like the non-verbal speaking people, the not or
Mm-hmm.
hard of hearing individuals would sign off on it that we were there and that we interacted, that we weren't
Right.
just there.
Mm-hmm.
So at Panera, when I was going to MV, they would have weekly meetings like on Wednesdays at Panera Bread.
Yeah. No, I thought MV. Yeah. No, you had to do well. I thought it was more than just like have hours when communicating. Like you had to work with some people like a little more extensively in that community.
I think if you went further in the
Oh
more
no.
like advanced classes, because I was in
Yeah.
ASL 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and like that was just to get my foreign language out of the way because Spanish was a
Didn't
no-go for me.
I was like, weren't you doing Spanish for the longest time? Yeah,
No, I
wait,
tried
no.
elementary Spanish first semester. I got halfway through and she said, hey, I got to the point where like if you dropped it, it wouldn't hurt you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she was like, listen, at this point, she's like, you're passing, but it's about to get harder. And she's like, I would suggest that you drop this and take another course
Oh.
because it's only going to get harder. And she's like, and you just don't have that
She said
skill yet.
you're making the curve.
In a very nice way. She's like, you're too dumb for elementary Spanish, Tanner. And I said, and I took that and I was like, you're right, because I walk into class thinking I am stupid as fuck with this. And I get panicked every time we're about to like stand up and every time I'm just like, no habla.
Dude, for
No habla.
Americans, learning another language is tough. I question, when did you have to first start learning another language in school?
I feel like it was ninth grade, but I didn't take a Spanish class. I just needed a semester for some reason.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so I didn't take a Spanish class until my senior year because I was playing catch up with other classes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh,
and I should,
I know that race. I know that
yeah, I
race.
shouldn't have passed because I never was there, and I left. I had senioritis. I walked out. Yeah,
I mean that followed into college there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a clap here
Clap.
because I gotta go pee. So I'm gonna clap. This is a marker. Press myself for a sec. All right,
You
we're
know,
back. There was an awkward cut.
Tanner, you know we just clip things. We can just clip
Yeah,
things.
that's
Like,
okay. I'm still gonna explain this just for comedic value. I had to pee really, really, really bad. I was trying to hold it. So there's a jump cut.
Any
All is well.
didn't even let me get a chance into my follow-up of, oh well, I started language in fourth grade.
Well, if I did start my own, like my actual language, like my
Well,
cultural language
that's fair,
early on,
but you
but
didn't
then
keep
they
up.
stopped.
Right. Well,
They,
no,
they they took it out. They took it away from us. Yeah, and now
I'm
it's you have to pass a drug test.
I'm speaking in relation to I started Latin in fourth grade.
Right,
And
like a foreign
then
one.
yeah, I had Latin class. It started in fourth grade, and then fifth and sixth grade is where we were really like in the mix, like learning the language and whatnot. Uh, and then I left sixth grade, and that was the last year that they actually had Latin. They cut it off after that. But then, transitioning into French from Latin is, their root language. It's the root language. French, Spanish, Italian, all come from Latin, like immediately down. So
Yeah, I almost did do French before I signed up for ASL.
you
But
should
I was told
have.
French. I was told I tried to get the French teacher or professor, whoever it was, to sign off on it for so I could join the class.
Mhm.
And she was like, honestly, she's like, French is a little bit more difficult than Spanish.
Oh no, that's true.
Yeah.
That is
So
true.
if you were having difficulty then, it was another nice way of saying you might be, if you're too stupid for them, you might be very stupid
Well,
for us.
I guess I would say to that effect is you have Canadian family who might speak French. So it would
Maybe.
be a matter of contacting them and building that interpersonal dialogue and learning it that way, which is a lot
Yep.
simpler than learning in a standard classroom form.
Right. Now I'm interested and I need to know. I need to ask Glenn if he knows any French. Because he's Canadian.
Yeah, but what region? That matters. If he's in like BC, like British Columbia, no.
No, not British Columbia.
If he's going up toward like Montreal, then yeah. Quebec, yeah. If he's in that region for sure.
Quebec. You're from Saskatchewan, man. Here it is.
Such an obscure fucking line to just in the middle of a conversation. Okay, so I got to get this weird fact out before we end up taking off today, and then how I ended up speaking with Jill about it. So I watch a lot of animal videos, like educational animal video, like I'm trying to learn different facts all the time. So this one about bees came up, right? And it was talking about how female bees, when winter's coming, they kick all the males out as to save on supplies, less mouths to feed, more food to sustain throughout the winter. Because in bee world, ladies run the entire thing, 100%. So immediately my mind went to a sketch of like of a male bee being like forced out of the hive, like slowly, but like by like Beatrice.
Like, so I'm going to do all this work. You can kick my ass out because you don't want to feed.
Just out in the cold and just it's cold.
That is some bullshit.
But then I got thinking more about bees. All right, so the queen lays the eggs, right? It's figured out if it's going to be male or female. Males, they're separated a bit, and males, their main existence is for fucking, to create more bees. So the males grow, and then they have to have sex with the queen, who's their mom. And things in my mind, I'm like, how do I bring this up in conversation?
That sounds some Alabama, Mississippi type shit.
I'm like, Joe, did you know? So I started off with the ladies, they kick all the men out and they freeze for winter. They die. And then it got me thinking that if the queen bee is the mother to everyone in the hive, and the male's got to have sex with the queen, what are we doing here?
A cycle of grooming.
You ever,
their own children.
The tangent is, first of all, who thinks about this?
Yeah, that's something I never wanted.
And then I felt weird. I felt weird for thinking about it. I'm like, it's ancestral.
This sounds like a type of thought when you're really, really high. Were you really, really high at this time?
Now, listen. I feel like that might not be relevant to the story, but to answer your question, absolutely.
There might be some relevance here.
I was watching a video.
It's blunt.
His blunt's back to
Yo, bees are incest though.
I immediately to myself said, why would I think about this? Because now I have to go down the hole. I need to know. The initial thought, I was mad at myself because I'm like, is there more to learn? my mind's been doing just these weird, I don't know how I get here moments. Like there's cocaine in our sewage water.
There's a lot of things in our sewage water.
There's a lot of things in our sewage water. But it's weird shit like that.
Cocaine is just
like,
the sugar on top.
just to sweeten up the doo-doo. I'm like, and then you ask the question, what was I high at the time? And, most of these times maybe. Yes, maybe. Oh, one thing that did cross my mind. You know what? Damn. No, I can't.
Don't.
I can't.
No, because there's a little bit of shame that came where you're like, I don't know.
The thing is, I can't say it on camera. The thing is, it's not as bad as you might think. It was about my wedding, a particular instance of my wedding that was highly celebrated, that I had fond memory of when thinking about it the other day. I had to ask my wife a question. You were there. And then, we went and hung out outside with pretty much half the wedding that was half the attendance that was there. You should know by all these hints. We ran upstairs to my wife. She's in the middle of.
Can I go hang out with my friends?
Exactly.
Can I go hang out with my friends? Yeah. And the biggest draw to that, and I won't
right
specifically who.
You can't say shit.
But there was a very specific individual that you were super excited to share that circle.
Yeah, I was geeking, bro. It's fucking.
You and me both. I was very excited for it myself.
I said, you. I gotta ask my wife. I had been away for some time at this point. I had to let her know this is the last of it. Promise.
I'm coming back.
I'm coming back. My wedding was fun as shit, dude. I had an amazing time.
It was a good time.
Shit. You got anything coming up for this week? You said you got some competitions. Is that relatively soon? Not this. But you'll be prepping
right
for
now, right now there's not right now, but coming up at least in April, at another CrossFit gym, they have this event. They're raising money for the Special Olympics.
Okay.
I think I don't remember specifically the distance. It's a lot, but I think you can have up to a team of 5 or 10 individuals per team. And we're all rowing, like we're all donating, and it's a competition of like who can row this much this fast. So a few of us signed up, and we're gonna go to that. I have to look at that event and get more details on that, so I can make sure I either have someone watching my sons or I can make a plan for that.
Right.
I have that coming up. I've been benched from work.
Wait, no, I thought you said you were back.
Yeah,
So now you're back.
I did. I got a new assignment, and I was supposed to start Monday, but now we're starting the 14th, so it got extended a little bit more. Dude, I haven't had to work a full day since February 28th.
Oh, damn, it has been that long. Because what was 2 weeks has extended into damn near 2 months. Man, that sounds familiar.
I didn't plan for this. I planned for 2 weeks.
That also sounds familiar.
The good thing is, though, it's salaried. I've been continued to getting paid.
Yeah, no, you didn't have money at that time.
Oh, we're talking about a different time. Yeah, no.
I was talking about the summer of '99.
Like that.
It's not the summer of '99.
Speaking of paid, so I know you're not a big baseball fan.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did want to get to this.
Yeah. So there's a new base. Not a new base, but there's a player on the New York Yankees, Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's just larger than life kind of figure. I think he's like 6'8". He's just a freak of a size person for baseball.
For baseball, because I'm like, that's standard basketball size.
Yeah, I mean he's big. He's a big dude. Like he's size wise too.
That's standard NFL size.
So he mashes his rookie year. He hit like he set the record for like most home runs by a rookie in a season. He won Rookie of the Year. But since then, I think he only had one season where he played most of the season. He's been nothing but injured since then, right? I think, and then last year was like his best season since.
Shit, sounds like Klay Thompson.
Well,
Klay's had more time.
Recent, yeah. I mean, he had 2 years of setbacks.
Yeah.
Close. It is kind of close. I think it's been like 3 or 4 years where he's been just injured on and off and hasn't been able to maintain a full healthy season.
Right.
He's still been productive. He's still a good player. The thing that bothers me the most is it's the gluttony and the greed of these players. All right. So he's like 30 now. Okay. He wants like a 10-year, $330 million contract. Which
being injured all this time?
Right? Like, so this is what he was offered. He was offered like 233 million over, I think, 6 or 7 years with like an opt-in for an extra year. And then there's like incentives. Like there's incentives.
Right.
Like,
I do know that about baseball.
An MVP, or if he made an all-star, or if he led the league in home runs, or if he hit this mark, you know what I mean? Or if they make the playoffs and he does well in the playoffs, there's incentives.
Mm-hmm. So
where he can earn more money, like on a back end type of deal or whatever.
Yeah.
Not to mention the money he's making on, from people that he signed with for like shoes and endorsements.
Yeah.
So like, that's a pretty damn good offer. 233 million over 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Because why are they going to want to pay you for 10 years? Like, you're going to be like 40. You think you're going to maintain that level of production to your 40?
He's not LeBron.
Based on your health?
Yeah.
Like, I love the confidence. But I'm like, dude, one, there's a reason why I'm upset. I'm upset because he's being super hella greedy and like,
yeah.
I feel like that's a super generous. I would 5 years is what I was thinking when they were talking about contract negotiations, because after this, he's going to become a free agent.
Right.
So this will be his first time testing free agent waters. So he could possibly go to another team that's going to be stupid enough to give him that money. So like, one, it's kind of their gain if he goes, because like he's an amazing player and like the Yankees would be losing him. And then two, it's just like, man, you're a son of a bitch.
Okay.
Greedy ass. But it's also just like greedy ass.
There was validity in the first couple points, but that last one, all right.
The last part is just the pure Yankee fan in me, where I'm just like mad that like, bro, he's probably gonna leave because Brian Cashman is a piece of shit general manager.
Oh gosh.
And he's not with the times anymore. He's been fucking up.
Man, I wish I cared. That's fantastic.
Like I said, I know you're not a baseball fan.
Why do I say hurtful things to you? I don't know.
I think baseball players are way overpaid, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, for what they do in comparison to other sports,
And how often
100%.
they fucking get injured.
I will say, fucking taking 100-mile-an-hour pitch to the body or to the face that's some damage.
Right.
It's
Worth
just gonna
worth a
hurt.
couple million. Like, you're away from your family and whatnot. I get that.
But when you
But
get in the
NFL players,
hundreds of
don't-
millions, yeah.
yeah. NFL
Oh,
players
and
don't make as much as that. And they're
no,
getting day in and day out.
the concussion issues that they've had to deal with over the years, where doctors were telling them, "No, you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine," and then come to find out they got brain damage and shit, and it's irreversible. That's just not coming back to full functionality. It's like,
Yeah.
it's no different from boxing, getting bopped in the face so many times and your brain rattling around. It's like, yo, there's gonna be damage. Don't
Insert
do
Muhammad
don't
Ali in this
don't
motherfucker.
do that. I felt bad in his later years, honestly.
Yeah, that sucked.
Just
It would
see
have been
him
cool. It
constantly
would have been cool
shaking.
to see an old Muhammad Ali that was still kind of like himself. You know what I mean?
We would have had to been born earlier, man, to see where that damage wasn't so prevalent. We're on the later tip of that, but shit, this was good. It's been another successful episode. Better than the one that we didn't air, for sure.
The one we tried recording. Yeah, that one was. It wasn't a shit show. It just, there was no energy, and it wasn't as lively.
Bro, I was tired. I was tired. Shit.
We had no plan. Not that we
It was
have like a
it was
legitimate plan.
it was no more of a
usually have
plan than
topics.
today. It was no more of a plan than today. You know what I mean?
But like I said, like we usually go freestyle and ad lib, but
I had more life about my
we do
topic.
have talking
Yeah.
points that we try to like
Yeah.
round ourselves back to, and that one we kind of were like, what do you,
Yeah, I wanted to talk about B-sex. I mean, that happens to the best of us, right? Yeah.
Sometimes, not me.
Yeah, excuse me.
Sometimes, not me though. I don't want to talk about B-sex.
I'm not that guy. You're not that guy.
Speak for your motherfucking self.
Oh shit. All right, man. It's been another successful one. We be back with you next time. We'll see what. Actually, hold on. Stop the credits. Stop the credits.
There's credits.
Eventually.
Okay. Yeah, we got some production value.
We gotta get a schedule, goddamn.
Yeah.
Because consistency. The people want consistency. They want to hear us all the time.
People, like, there's a lot of people. The whole 40.
Listen, first of all, people listen to us, okay? My wife laughed. She enjoyed it.
That's support. Right.
That's what you need in life. Is I wish this hair was not just bobbing in my face like Michael Jackson's tendrils, just like just every time. I'm not emo. This is
stop teasing. Tito, get me tissue.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I think we should pose it maybe to the people, see who actually listens to us. It's also gonna suck if they don't respond to the comments, but when they want to hear it on, just what y'all think? And it's crickets. Someone literally puts a cricket emoji in the comment.
Just do the thing, like, comment, subscribe, or if you don't want to do any of that, it's easy to share.
Actually, sharing is the most beneficial to us of all of them. So do
Sharing
that.
is
Also, subscribe to not only my YouTube page, Comedian Jovi, where I post these episodes, but also to the Late Show with T&J Facebook group. Just type that in, you'll find us. It's a caricature of us going. Let us know.
There's my YouTube page, Tanner Blue Wolf. Instagram.
Oh, you getting that running again?
Sandra Bullock. Yeah, actually, I started writing
Dope.
today. I'm going to soon film a short self-shot one-man. I'm gonna do it all.
Sure.
I have something where it's a simple concept, but it's actually I like the concept.
Is it like your trash one from back in the day?
I mean that where it's like kind of like one man one shot type deal, like I just said, like that. But is
it more in depth
like that
than that, or
yeah? There's more to it.
Is that on your YouTube page? If not, make sure it is so that people can check it out.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple on there.
People like that noir style.
Yeah.
I thought it was overly artsy at the time, but my palate's changed a little bit so I can understand and appreciate it a little bit more. I wanted to shit on you, but I was also like, I get it now.
To this day, the two favorite short films that I've made, and they're not good, but it's definitely the one where you and I have a rock paper scissors shoot fight.
Oh,
the replay of you going back and hitting the wall. And it's got that. Oh man!
Hold on. Don't give it too much. Let the people check it out. On your page, Tanner Blue Wolf.
I think it's on my YouTube page. If not, I'll have to post it on. I feel like it is.
Okay.
And then there's obviously the greatest lax player that ever lived. That one just because
it's McCradle, baby.
That was literally prime us, like prime roommate. You me and Blaine just doing stupid shit, and I'm like, yo, you guys want to make this funny ass video? At least we thought it was hilarious. It wasn't.
We were all well, it was funny to people who knew what lacrosse was.
Yeah. The best part about that is there was a random person we don't know who somehow recognized you at a party. It was like, yo, aren't you McCradle?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know you. I was famous for a day, and it was fantastic. Yeah, like, I got the itch, and I never left.
Good. I gotta check my page. I think
we've been terrible at this sign off. It's always been one more thing.
And one more thing, Jackie. One more thing.
Bro, next time.
My horrible uncle.
Yeah, we should talk about some old shows next time because that's definitely on the list for sure.
Yeah, can we? I want to talk about the Mandela effect next time as well.
True, I'm down to do that. Also, anyone in the comments, let us know any of your Mandela effects, and we might even talk about it on the show next time. Yes. All right. Until next time, everyone. Peace out.